All right, I want to talk about a honeydew list. When there is a list of things that have to be done, a lot of men, especially if it requires like do it yourself or like build it yourself, a lot of men figure, oh, that's my job. I have to do that. So it becomes the hubby do list, right?
Okay.
Okay. So two questions. Number one, when is it appropriate to ask for something to be done a second time?
Never.
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 You can never ask for it to be done because it wasn't done originally.
No, it just hasn't been done. It's not that it was never done. It just has not been done yet.
Okay, so if it hasn't been done yet, how long should it take for said project to even get started?
Was there a timeline established in the initial ask?
I don't know.
Well, it sounds like poor expectation management. You didn't tell me when you wanted it done. As long as I get it done before I die, it's done. Ta-da!
Let me just make sure I got this right. If I need a project done and I'm expecting you to do the project, I have to tell you when the project should be done by.
Yes.
Okay. Now, let's just say, hypothetically, I've told you that there's a project that I want to be done, and this is when I expect the project to be done by, and it has not been done. At that point, can I ask you to do the project again?
Do I have all the resources necessary to
Yes.
do the project?
Yes.
Am I dependent upon you or any other external party to do it? You may ask me a second time.
What's the time frame?
No, hang on. There were conditions.
Okay.
You may ask me a second time, but it cannot be during football or any other time that I might be busy. And even though I might not look busy, I could be busy. So you have to make sure that I'm not busy.
Okay. So I'm going to assume that when you're asleep on the couch,
I don't sleep on the couch.
or watching football or watching some sort of show on TV, that you are busy for weeks straight.
No. That's way too
I'm going
long.
to assume that that's it. Okay, so at that point...
This is 3 questions.
At that point, though, I am going to take the project on myself.
Okay, so that's guaranteed to get me to do it.
Okay, so then if there's a honeydew project that needs to be done, just to wrap this up, if there's a honeydew project that needs to be done and has not been done within a reasonable time frame to the other spouse's mind, and that spouse then starts to do the project themselves, that will trigger you to do the project?
Okay, we need to talk about one thing that you said there, because that sounded like a non-verbal agreement that we made. A reasonable amount of time to who? To you? You told me to do something yesterday and I haven't done it today because I've been at work all day? That's not reasonable.
I'm not... Okay, but be reasonable.
Right, be reasonable.
Okay, what's reasonable?
Well, I think that's the communication piece. Like, hey, I want this done by next weekend. Can we get that done? Yeah, I think so.
And if it's not, and I attempt to do it myself, then there should not be...
Did it rain?
If it is not done and there were no circumstances in which it could not have been done,
Did my
and
toe
I
hurt?
intend to do...
Was there dirt in my eye?
I'm just going to do it myself.
I know what you're asking me. And I agree. Look, I think that there is a period of time that has gone by where it is acceptable to ask the person if they intend on doing it, but not in a passive aggressive way, right? Like, hey, we talked last week. You said you were going to do it. You haven't done it yet. Do you need something? Is there something that's prohibiting you or preventing you from doing it? I think that's a realistic, like, honest conversation. It doesn't have to be snarky or suggestive. Just be honest, upfront, clear communication, right?
You got it.
That does not involve cussing at me and telling me to get off the couch and go do it. That's not it either.
I think it's interesting when I have things that I would like to have done, projects that I've been talking about for months. But if you have a project that you want to have done, all of a sudden, all the time in the world is available and said project is completed.
I don't understand the question. That was a statement.
That was passive.